Hello and welcome. Come on in. Grab your tea, your coffee. Come on in. We're going to sit for a minute and I'm going to talk to you about your spirit guides. How to figure out who they are, how to contact them, and the signs that they throw to you. Go grab your cup and I'll see you in a moment. All right, welcome back, you guys. We are going to talk about today figuring out who your spirit guides are. Tapping into them. My glasses are so dirty and I really don't need them because I'm not going to be doing any tarot cards, but it just makes me difficult to see you guys. Not that I see you guys, but I see you guys. I am psychic. I see you guys. It is one of the most common questions that I get. Tina, who are my spirit guides? How do I find out who they are? Give me a second here while I clean my glasses. All right, there you go. Wow, clear. It isn't hard, really. There's a couple little tricks to it. Some of you think that it is a long, drawn-out metaphysical process. You've got to go deep into meditation and learn a lot of mumbo-jumbo just to figure out who your own spirit guides are. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit so my lighting doesn't reflect on my glasses quite so much. All right, let's try that. One of the easiest ways to go about finding out who your spirit guides are is just to go here at YouTube in the search bar and find out how to go about it. How do I tap into my spirit guides? There are a ton of meditations out there. Some of them are very good. They're quick, they're brief. James Van Praagh has an excellent one. There are a few other very good psychic mediums that have excellent meditations on how to contact your spirit guides. But I'm going to tell you how I contacted mine. And then I'm going to give you a little backstory on that. Now, one of the things I want you to see, let's see if I can do this. Turning the camera, and we're going to go up a bit. That picture right there is the Holy Mother Mary. And we will bring her back into the conversation here in a moment. All right, let's see if we got that. First thing I want you to do in order to tap into your spirit guides is I want you to get comfortable. Find a nice, quiet place. Do you guys have your own prayer room? A lot of you have referred to them as the war room. That when the devil is knocking at the door and you need to go to war, where you go. The White House has a war room, or the Pentagon has one. And that's where everybody goes to kind of put their strategies together and how to figure out how they're going to combat what's out there. But in this case, you're trying to not combat, but communicate with your personal spirit guides. So I want you to find a nice, comfortable place that you can just kind of chill and relax and kick back just a little bit. I want you to get comfortable. You can lie down if you want. You can sit up, close your eyes if you'd like. And I want you to take 3 cleansing breaths. In and out. And when you release that exhale, I want you to visualize releasing negative energy. Again, in and out. And I want you to do that 3 times. You can do it a couple times more. There is no set way to meditate. What works for you works for you. May not work for me. May not work for somebody else. So I want you to kind of experiment a little bit. But you're not going to go into a meditation yet or into a trance or anything. But I want you to begin to learn how to use your breath to clear negative energy. So now that you're all relaxed and you're comfortable and in your chair, I want you to close your eyes, take those breaths, and visualize a misty, kind of foggy atmosphere around you. And your intent is to find your spirit guides and identify who they are. And you only want to identify one spirit guide at a time. Some of us have more, some of us have several at different times in your life. Some of them change off depending on what's required in your life. But in that mist that you've got imagined, and this is, I want you to work with your imagination on this, because that is where spirituality 222. How about that? That is how, when you're learning to, through spirituality, how you're learning to tap into the other side. We go there with the imagination first and allow the link to come in. So you're imagining the mist, this fog, and you realize that you are on a wooded trail, a beautiful pathway into the woods. And you're safe here. There is nothing dark. There is nothing dangerous. There are no mountain lions ready to pounce. There are no bad guys ready to get you, because you're in this misty haze in the woods, walking down this beautiful trail. And visualize yourself walking. And you're kind of enjoying a little bit of the scenery. The beautiful leaves around you, just the glisten of the dew on some of the flowers that might be there. This is your meditation, so you can really flower it the way you want to. Whatever is comfortable for you, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel welcome there. And as you're strolling very slowly down this trail and enjoying what you're seeing, enjoying what you're feeling, you come out into an opening at the end of the trail. And it's a beautiful wooded glade. The flowers are there. There is beautiful, beautiful fragrance from the flowers. And you can see on the other side of this opening that your spirit guide is standing there. However, they have their back to you. Take your time with this. Don't rush through this meditation. Rewind this and listen to it a couple times, and then do it on your own. But on the other side of that wooded glade, where everything is just so absolutely beautiful and serene, and there are just the faintest beautiful birds chirping in the background. You may hear the babbling of a little creek or a brook nearby. It's your meditation. Take it the way you want it to go. Well, you acknowledge mentally to your spirit guide, who still has their back turned to you, to turn around, because you're asking them, please tell me, show me who you are. And when they turn around, I don't want you to be shocked at who you might see. I question one of my spirit guides, and I'll give you that story here. But I question who I saw. You may see an ascended master. You may see somebody from medieval times. But you'll know that when you see them, that's one of your spirit guides. Now, oftentimes, our spirit guides are actually the alter ego of who we are. I once did a spirit guide meditation for a young fellow, and he was a small guy, and he was kind of frail and very effeminate. Um, and when he asked me, he said, Tina, who is my spirit guide? I literally saw this huge, huge lumberjack looking guy behind him. Well, the reason that they are our alter ego, so to sometimes, is because that's the part of us that's lacking. And we call them forward to kind of help us out in those times of need. Sometimes he just needed somebody a little more big and outgoing and boisterous and there. And that is when he found times of courage. That's when that big lumberjack fella came through. So don't be surprised at who may come through. You may have a medieval monk. You could have a nun. And I'm going to tell you about mine. In one of my meditations, asking to meet a spirit guide, and this was kind of early on, I did the same meditation. I walked down that trail, and at the end of the trail, I saw my spirit guide. I could tell it was a woman from the back, and asked, would you please identify yourself and let me know who you are? And when she turned around, I gotta pop up. When she turned around, it was the Holy Mother Mary. I couldn't believe my eyes. I go, oh, you know what? I'm making this up in my head. Okay, I didn't believe it. Didn't believe it. I was raised Catholic. I'm proud to say I'm a Reformed Catholic. So I didn't believe it. I doubted it for a little bit. And I let it go. After the meditation, I released that and let it go. Never thought about it for a little while longer. And those of you that know about one of my sons that has already passed, his name was Daniel. And Daniel was experiencing some health problems. He was profoundly handicapped. He had a lot of issues to begin with. And I was very scared and very worried about Daniel. And I just kind of asked out loud. I was in my bedroom. Spirit, and I may have addressed her as a Holy Mother. If you're really my guide, can you tell me when my son Daniel will leave? Because he came close to death a couple times. He may have even crossed the veil a couple times. And I heard the response of a voice that I identified as the Holy Mother Mary. Now, I've never heard her talk, but immediately I had a gut feeling that's who I heard. I thought she said, he will die in the way of my son. Wow, that's nuts. They don't crucify kids. They don't crucify anybody. Maybe in the Middle East they still do it. So I really dismissed that the Holy Mother Mary was my spirit guide. About 6 weeks later, Daniel died. He died on Good Friday. He didn't die in the way of my son. He died on the day of my son. I didn't hear her correctly. It is muffled oftentimes when we mediums do hear things, and you may get the same kind of interpretation. You get the gist of what they're saying, but sometimes it's not verbatim. Daniel died on the day that her son died, on Good Friday. I got to keep from getting choked up. On Easter morning, I was pretty heartbroken. that same weekend that Daniel died. And I crumbled into my partner's chest. He and I were crossing in the hallway near the bathroom. And I said, where is my baby at today? Why didn't he get to come back? And immediately, right over where we were standing, we were right under a smoke alarm. And the smoke alarm chirped 3 times. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Kind of odd. But it happened immediately after I made that statement. So the fiance and I looked at each other, and he kind of got the feeling too, like, you know, wasn't psychic and medium or anything, but he kind of got the feeling too, the same as I did. And I said, Daniel, is that you? And immediately I got another response, chirp, chirp, chirp. 3 chirps. So I was kind of relieved a little bit that I was hearing from him. I went on Facebook and I said, is there anybody out there that knows Morse code? What does that 3 beep, beep, beep mean? And nobody seemed to know. Then finally, a couple of people came back. One said it is a Bible. In the Bible, it mentions the 3 bells. And a fella also put on there, Tina, I was in the Navy, and 3 bells is all's well. So there you have it. A little bit of a story about my spirit guides. Now, that spirit guide helped bring him through that day so that he could acknowledge that, okay, Mom, I'm okay. I'm on the other side. I'm fine. 3 bells is all's well. He was such a new soul on the other side that he had to have the boost from a spirit guide, now most likely one of his, and you can have the same spirit guides as me. But we can share them. A lot of them are the same. I'm not the only one that has the Holy Mother Mary for a spirit guide. But it was such a relief and such a joy. Number one, I knew that I wasn't hallucinating, that it was the Holy Mother. And number 2, that my son was okay. So there you have it. Just a brief story about my son and my journey and how I found out who my spirit guides, one of them is. I have several. When you have a complicated and troubled life, you have more. So don't be surprised if anytime you do that, you see a different figure turn around. So you can try that yourself. It is not that difficult. You might feel like you're not really connecting, like you're, hallucinating or making it up in your head. And I'm going to tell you, you kind of are. But imagination is the spark behind knowing. It is the spark behind psychic ability. Because you think you just imagined what is taking place. So give that a try. Test the theory out. Walk down the wooded trail. And there are other meditations where you can find out who your spirit guides are. I just happen to like that one. You see me in the woods all the time, and it was one that worked for me, kind of fit what was going on. So give it a try. See who your spirit guides are, and let me know. By the way, you can talk to me over at Facebook. I'm carrying on some conversations back and forth. Let me know some of the topics that you'd like to hear. And I want to bless you guys with love and light before we say goodbye for this video. And I'm getting ready to film another one, so I'll see you in a moment. All right, see you soon.